I just had my 50th birthday, and I celebrated that with this kind of atmosphere of giving less F's,
Yeah.
is what we call it. I'm bright today.
You're always bright. Brilliant woman.
I'm not always bright.
There's some moments, there's some times.
Well, cheers to that part of the week ending.
Cheers.
And I think all these ladies out there know what part of the week I might be talking about.
I think the fellas know as well.
So you spent the last week kind of dodging and ducking me.
Yeah, I call it my Neo week. So Neo from Matrix for all the nerds out there. Just gotta dodge all the bullets. But no, it's
Well, I have to commend you because I have never seen any man respond to this situation as well as you have. Although I'm kind of new to the situation myself.
yeah. Well, I mean it's new to me.
Yeah,
Having
so
to
okay, so I just had my 50th birthday, and I celebrated that with this kind of atmosphere of giving less F's,
Yeah.
is what we call it. And that also comes along with some of the changes in my body. And, there's a lot of talk about perimenopause. And, there's all these podcasts out there. And Mel Robbins has a really good episode where she talks about how to lose belly fat, sleep better, all of these things. Really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had to kind of realize that the changes that were happening in me were something more than just the regular monthly cycle.
Right.
But when we first got together, you were coming upon the simple changes in me that were just kind of predictable with the cycle, but you hadn't had that experience since your youngest son was born.
Yeah. It was quite a long time going through the household with a monthly cycle, if I may say.
Right.
My first wife had to have a hysterectomy after my son was born, and those symptoms, or the phenomenon that is a change in them within the month, I didn't experience that.
Right.
So
Well, to put it clearly,
yes,
she's had a hysterectomy.
yeah.
And so she basically, her ovaries are not there, which that is the primary organ in the female body that produces estrogen that causes us to make eggs and have a cycle of ovulation and all the other things that happen. And a lot of women don't realize that when we're born with all the eggs we're ever going to have, a million or so eggs. And by the time we're 30, we only have 10% of those eggs left. And so by the time we're 40, we have 3% of those eggs left, which means our estrogen is declining. And that's when all of the changes in our body starts happening. So I noticed that I started in the last, I'd say 3 years, started getting belly fat and not being able to lose weight as fast. And I couldn't tolerate certain foods anymore. My stomach was kind of messing with me. I started drinking kombucha about 10 years ago, so I didn't have as much stomach problems as some women have. But let me tell you, the grouchy, not tolerating people stuff started really bothering me, I'd say probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Right. And I fell into that space.
It's like, I love you, but right now, I'm not sure what I want to do with my life.
I don't like you right now. Why are you in my space? But I think I think what has been so important for me to do is learn what you're going through and see some of the books that you're reading and listen to some of the podcasts that you're listening to that's helping you to understand better what's going on with you.
Yeah.
That way I can understand better what's going on as well. And I think that's important for a lot of folks that are in relationships with a female that is going through this at the age that we are at, instead of just being upset or confused, because confusion causes people to become upset. Let's get a better understanding as to what's going on.
Well, also, it takes the "it's your fault" or "what did you do
Yeah.
wrong" out of the equation,
Mhm.
because honestly, there's times where I feel like I'm 100% true and firm in what I believe,
Mhm.
and it feels like I'm being picky or I'm being kind of petty,
Yeah.
petty pendergrass.
Petty Pendergrass.
and and then you give me these kind of signals, like it's kind of like a surrender signal where you're just like, okay, whatever you want, you let me drive, you don't even like ask, you just give me the
Yeah.
keys, you
Open up
let
the
me kind of
door and.
yeah. But I realize also now that when you're responding that way, I need to check myself.
Mm.
So I go to my little app on my phone and I look at the calendar and I'm like, this is probably not a good week for me to be making decisions.
Right.
I probably shouldn't shop this week. I probably shouldn't eat so much sugar and I probably shouldn't drink alcohol
Mm.
because it makes everything worse.
Right.
Then it leads to me not sleeping good, which leads to me being even more grouchy the next day. So realizing that diet, exercise, stress reduction, all of these things are so important,
Mhm.
not only just to my body and to my mental health and my physical health, but to our relationship.
Right. No, absolutely. And communication is a key,
Yeah.
because if you and I didn't talk about it, or just say, as you begin to get angry, I counter your anger with anger
Right.
because I don't understand what's going on.
And you take it personal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't take it personal. You just have to understand exactly what's going on, and then be willing to have the conversation, be willing to surrender, and just be there. It's important to just understand what may be going on. I'll never understand completely what's going on, because whatever's going on in your body and your mind, that's what you're experiencing. And
Right.
every person is going to be different. But if I can just be there.
Well, being there is great, but sometimes when I'm feeling that way, I don't want you to be
Yeah,
there.
or be
I need to
there.
be by myself.
Either be there or be gone.
Yes, yes.
Understanding that you need your space, and it's not anything personal. It's just I need to be in my head. I need to be in my space. I need to do the things that I just want to do. I want to read a book. I want to listen to a podcast. I want to listen to music. I just need the space.
Right.
And,
But on us. It's our responsibility also that when we recognize that we're feeling different, or even if you
yeah.
recognize that I'm behaving differently, that the communication is gentle enough on each side where we say, hey, I'm not at my best. I'm not at 100% today.
Mhm.
And or even 60% or even 50%, and whatever the reasons, just say, I think it's my cycle, I don't know, maybe help encourage me to make better choices when we're out to eat,
Mhm.
or when we're cooking. You make better choices, well, I should say, when you're cooking, make better choices, because you can tell that I'm starting to have symptoms.
Right.
And so when you're cooking something up, like, don't make dessert during the time that I'm being grumpy, unless I'm like, I need chocolate
Yeah.
or I need this. But mostly for us women, when we're craving something, it is because we're lacking something, we're missing something in
Right.
our diet that our bodies are craving. But sugar is horrible, and we are drinking coffee
Mhm.
today, but this is not really coffee. This is an espresso martini, but it's okay because today we were at an amazing event with the San Diego Magazine crew,
Yeah.
brunch bash
Brunch
at the
bash.
Omni Hotel.
Mhm.
And of course, they were handing out brunch items
Mhm.
with all these different vendors and serving alcohol all over the place. So we did engage in that. So today is that day. which I say I will drink my coffee, but I'm probably going to have a problem sleeping. And I have to drink this knowing that I may have a problem sleeping tonight. But I have my handy dandy topical magnesium. And since I walked around all day with shoes on and my feet hurt, maybe those magnesiums can get into my feet tonight before I sleep via way of my amazing husband.
I think we can accommodate that. You were talking about we were talking about just communication and how things go, and it seems smooth. It's not always that way. Maybe 89% of the time we're good. We're practicing what we preach, and sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it comes off in a different way, and I take it personal. You take it personal. We get sensitive about situations or whatnot. We just have to remember to come back to center and think about what's going on, live in the moment, experience what's happening. Be like, oh crap, I just realized that we're in this space. Let's get out of it. How do we talk through it?
But that takes a huge effort on most men's part to let their ego down and say, you know what, I'm not going to engage in this, potential argument over nothing because you have an attitude or you have a bad attitude and you're not seeing things like you normally see things, and be able to take that step back. Believe me, there's times where I come out of this and I'm like, oh my God, I was so rude. And I'm so sorry that I was such a bitch. And like, I mean, I I felt in the time that was happening that I needed to be that way and I needed to respond that way. But later it's like, oh, I hate it. But I'm happy that you're able to, like you said, look at the big picture and not take it personal. But I also appreciate when you give me those looks like,
hey man,
yeah.
hey, I felt that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good to remember, yes, we're in a relationship, but we're also in a friendship. We're also in a partnership. We have to remember those things because sometimes my friend just needs comfort or my friend just needs time. My wife needs this, but my friend needs this as well. So we have to remember that.
Yeah, but your friend sometimes needs to be checked.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Check me, boo. It's okay.
I'm gonna check you, boo.
Check me, boo. I might be asking you who's gonna check me at the time, but later on I'll be glad that you did.
Yeah. But we have that that level of respect for one another to be able to say, you're a little off here, or you say that a little bit differently or something, because I mean, we're still learning. We're all humans and we're all constantly learning. So teach me how to continue to love you, and vice versa. So we communicate, we help each other through this.
Yeah, it might be a while.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Well, I found this doctor through that podcast I spoke of earlier. I mean, her name is Mary Claire Haven. Oh my gosh, I don't remember. MaryClaireWellness.com, I think it's called. Anyway, Dr. Haven. I should probably know this a little better. Anyway, I'll plug it on the bottom, the YouTube page. But she's a doctor who's like certified in menopause therapy. And there's not very many, people that know a lot about menopause and perimenopause. And I would say for all these women out there that are experiencing anything, the brain fog, the arthritis type pains, there's like this thing called frozen shoulder where you sleep at night and you can't even turn around. That happens to me at night. I will just be frozen trying to turn and my shoulder hurts so bad. And I wake up in the night because I can't sleep. I'm having night sweats. I don't have hot flashes during the day, but I definitely have night sweats. And there's times I can't sleep at all. And she really dives deep into what those symptoms are usually caused from and gives you all this supplemental, dietary supplements, these information about what supplements we should be taking. I personally, I take Nutrafol because I found that my hair was thinning out and there were some issues with that. I think there's another one called Me Perimenopause or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And it's just women all over the place are having good results from this. So everyone should, woman should, once they go to their doctor and they've, had all of the symptoms checked and everything comes out normal,
Right.
and you can't find out what's wrong with you, go to your gynecologist.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them for help. Start researching your symptoms in a way that is, keyword perimenopause or keyword menopause, because most of your symptoms may just be that.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, I mean, us women, I don't think we were made to live that long, and we're just suffering. We're suffering through the end of our lives because there's things we can be doing about these symptoms, but medicine has gotten in the way,
Yeah.
and they have not allowed a lot of things due to old studies and all these clinical trials they've been doing on women for years, and they're like the old women. They're not women who are like going through these things. It's women who are already in menopause, and it's all like been debunked. So taking hormonal therapy is something women should consider if they're having these symptoms. But also, men need to be educated.
Yeah, I think so.
So men need to educate themselves, and a simple thing for men to listen to is that Mel Robbins podcast, and she talks about the menopausal, perimenopausal symptoms. It's something else I'm going to link, and it's really important you listen to it. You were like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea."
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea," and I'm a nurse, but
It's a lot of good information, and it's good to just know. Like as you're listening to it, I'm seeing certain things, and oh man, wow, this is crazy.
yeah,
But it's good to be able to recognize it, to know, have some general understanding as to what's going on.
yeah,
And
it's really important.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's made your journey through my cycle much easier,
I think so. I
right?
think so. No, I mean, no stress. I mean, my hairline could tell you otherwise, but I don't think I'm stressed at all. I think, like I said, good line of communication and a willingness to be understanding
Yeah, yeah.
is most important.
And it's nice that you've gone on a diet change journey with me,
Yeah,
because there's a lot of things that I have to now say no to. And when I say no, you're like, well, then we're not eating that,
yeah.
and you won't eat it
I'm
either.
with you. I'm with you
Not
all the way.
everything, and not all day, and not every day.
Yeah.
But when I say, hey, I can't handle the ice cream
Mm-hmm.
tonight, I'm gonna be sorry tomorrow, and so will you.
Yeah.
And so you don't eat it either.
No,
Just sit there and eat ice cream in front of me.
no, wouldn't do it.
Haagen-Dazs pistachio.
That's for you. Yeah, I got you. Shall we?